let's do a little show and tell. I figured we're going to take a break with the Danish medallions. Maybe when I see you in a couple weeks, then I'll have something interesting with the Danish medallions. That'd be nice, right? That'd be nice. But I did want to share with you that we finished up the ukulele towels. Da, 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 da. Finally, we have finished up the ukulele towels. So this is Dinah to the rescue. Thank you, Dinah. She's our lifesaver. There's so many things that don't happen without Dinah. We love her. So this is about half of the stack. We ended up with 21. We had a little bonus in there, which was awesome. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 here. So Dad's either given away or sold 11 of them, which is amazing. So I want to show you a few of these, and we'll talk about some lessons learned after all is said and done. So if you haven't been part of the ukulele towel conversation, basically here's the concept, is that it's a piece of fabric, handwoven fabric in this case, that can be laid over your instrument in the case to kind of protect it, or you can have it out like on your lap or something when if you're out, performing, and it becomes something you can, if you're sweaty or whatever, it's just something, just a nice little piece of fabric to have with you, and it's colorful and cheery and all the good things. So Dad plays ukulele in multiple groups. He's very busy with his ukulele life, and we started this idea a couple years ago. So it had been a few years, and he's like, hey, I want another batch of towels. So that's where the Ukulele Towel Project has come into play. So here was what we did this time. We made them all narrower. Well, we did it the first time. They were probably maybe 3/4 of an inch wider. And he was like, they really need to be narrow because I don't want to have to like tuck it around the neck of the instrument and all that kind of stuff. So that was part of the deal. But otherwise, there was really no parameters. It didn't have to be certain colors. The size is what we're aiming for. It's about, what do we say? 4.5 by 22 is about the size. I think that's what we ended up with approximately. And we did just a little sweet little label on each one. But because they didn't have to be any certain color or style, I went a little crazy and added all the colors and just kind of played with things. So there's a few that are solid like this, just kind of dumb luck. I didn't plan it that way because basically I handed over the roll to Dinah. I was like, okay, just measure every 22 inches and put in hems, and off she went. So we have ones like that. But we also, by the way, there were 2 different projects because I broke it up because it took a lot of yardage. This was from the first project. And this one was from the second. And I wanted to point out something for you guys. So this one I changed colors a lot more often. So all of these versions have multiple colors in each of the towels. But to keep myself from getting too bored, I changed the treadling as I went. And friends, it was totally affected when it went through the washer and dryer. Look at this with me. Okay, so basically I would change the treadling. I would do like where I lifted 1 treadle at a time, I would do 2 at a time, and then I would do 3 at a time, and then I would go back, like that kind of thing. But, okay, look how it shrunk. Can you see my 2 at a time didn't shrink nearly as much? Well, it's all relative. Didn't shrink as much as the ones that are lifting 1 or lifting 3, like that option. So I have this like crazy little kind of girdle thing. Now, Dinah did a great job she took a steamer. I mean, unless you're a weaver, and I pointed out, you're not going to notice. However, when they first came out of the washer and dryer, it was like, oh, like the edges had this little kind of curve to them. Like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. But you can kind of see where it changes. This little kind of rhythm I had going, which is just kind of funny. Yeah, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care. There's another one here. This was a fun kind of. I got a little tracking. Oh, you guys, I have a little tracking happening in there. Look at that. That's so fun. I love it when tracking happens. Come on, look at that. Do you guys know tracking? Tracking is happens in plain weave, but can you see it? Look at the little diagonals right there. That's so cool. That is so cool. So it happens with plain weave, and there's something about the way the yarns are spun, and I'm sure there's a scientific explanation that's very detailed and exact, but for me, it's just kind of magic. And so when you have fabric that is technically plain weave, but it looks twill-ish because the way the yarns pop up, they create these little angles. Look at all that. I didn't even notice that before. That's so fun. Look at the fun tracking. Oh, that's awesome. Anyways, I digress. So I wanted to just share kind of what some of them turned out to be. Boy, you can really see my little 1, 2, 3, the way I just changed the treadling. You can see like the lines don't quite go straight. That's fun though. I just think that the colors, the texture, what's interesting is that the textures from these are much softer than the very first project. This is a little tougher, It had more plain weave in it. This was all twill, so this is a little squishier, a little nicer hand. Not that it matters too much in this application, but that was kind of but yeah, all the colors. We got a little of everything, so you can people can kind of cherry pick which version they like. With this one, had a lot. Oh, look at all the colors there. I got a purple, a red, a light green, a white, an orange. Wow, it's like a whole little part of the rainbow right there. A little part of the rainbow. This is yeah, that's kind of a cool variation right there. I like that guy. Very fun. Oh, and this one you can see. This was the neighbor right there in my. You can you can see this is where she just yeah. See, look at that. Anyways, so I just wanted to share the conclusion of the Ukulele Towel Project. It was a good one, I got to say. That was very fun. Thank you for being very patient because you heard about these for a very long time. So